Hello and welcome to another episode of Nature with You. I am your host, Abby. Today I will be interviewing my friend Trevor. Trevor was born and raised in the great state of 48, Arizona. He played college football out in Pennsylvania and moved back to Arizona, where he works with a lot of numbers and spreadsheets. He's currently trying to pursue a career as a random background character in any show or movie. He's a huge friends and family type of guy, loves to socialize, and loves animals. Please note that neither of us are experts in the subject matters discussed. Enjoy the episode. Where do you feel most connected to nature?
When I was growing up, going to my grandma's house in Illinois out in the woods, population of 50 there, it was pretty fun, and going out there and picking berries, seeing where everything was, where everything used to be, the farms and everything along those lines. Also, if I ever go up north in Arizona with friends, it's pretty relaxing and fun.
What is it like when you in Arizona up north? Is it the same type of area you live in now, more brown?
Oh, you don't know much about Arizona, do you?
Nope.
Obviously, in Phoenix, we're in a valley, we're surrounded by mountains, so it's always hot, but once you start going up north, the elevation changes, I think, in Flagstaff, you're, 4,000 feet above sea level, so, everything, it's, a bunch of pine trees, elk, deer, everything like that. It snowed more in Flagstaff than it did in Pittsburgh, I think, 2 years ago. So, yeah, you go up through the mountains, you hit an actual mesa, plateau, then you keep going up, and then it's just pine trees and a bunch of greenery everywhere.
Yeah, I think most people just picture the Phoenix landscape when they picture Arizona. So at your grandma's house in Illinois, what sort of stuff did you do outside?
Really, I haven't been there much since I got older, but when I was younger, we would be outside with the cattle or goats, going into the woods, picking berries, walking around, making sure we don't touch poison ivy or get attacked by the wildlife there, and watching out for all the snakes and water moccasins, and just exploring where everything used to be, and just walking down just a dirt path, seeing all the farms, and just enjoying time, peaceful, and nothing was around.
Yeah, just fully immersed. Did someone teach you how to make sure you don't eat anything poisonous if you're picking berries or?
Yeah, they told us what berries were good and what berries were bad. So it just passing down with my siblings and me, and we would obviously go with our family and just pick. And I think we used to make pie out of it or just eat it.
That's cool. I do wish I have been saying I've always wanted to forage mushrooms, but that's a very dangerous thing if you don't know what you're doing, and there's a lot of mushrooms out there, so I don't know if that'll ever happen, but maybe yeah, no, not those types, but that could happen. Yeah,
pick one, it's a psychedelic.
Yeah, and then I'm tripping for the rest of my life. Yeah.
Truffle hunting. Do truffle hunting, get a pig.
What is that?
Truffle hunting?
Yeah, I don't know what that is. No.
You get a pig, and it's a certain type of mushroom, and I believe it's a certain type of mushroom, but you have a pig that smells out the truffles that go and dig it up, and then
no way.
Yeah, you could sell them for a pretty good price.
Yes, that is also a perk. But no, I didn't know they used pigs to do that. That's cool.
Female pigs, they use sows primarily for truffle hunting, or a truffle hog.
Interesting.
I mean, when I went up to Pine, which is up north in Arizona, a couple hours, with my friends one time, we went through Fossil Creek, and the place we stayed at was very friendly and outdoors, and it was pretty fun just to be with no cellular devices and just going down the water, jumping through the water, going through everything, and my friend Jacob trying to catch a fish.
Yeah, I feel like it's better when you don't have self-service because then people aren't distracted by things.
We went to Greer not too long ago, and I went, same dude, Jacob, with him turkey hunting, and he saw every single star. Took some nice pictures.
Oh, yeah, that is cool, too. Seeing, yeah, no light pollution or anything. Yeah, those are, like, good memories. It's like I can remember exactly what the sky looked like. What are you doing when you feel most connected to nature?
Just hanging with the boys.
Okay.
Just vibing, just relaxing, just taking, seeing where the day takes us. Like, whatever, like, the small towns have to offer, going and visiting there, or whatever's off the side of the road that seems interesting, and just being fully immersed in the atmosphere of the small town, the nature, the outdoors, and seeing, like, all the different types of wildlife there that aren't prevalent in the valley.
When you say on the side of the road, do you mean like a fruit stand, or like what do you mean by that?
Like, when we were in Pine, there was like a honey shop or a cigar lounge was pretty cool, and there was a pizza place that was like an outdoors pizza place, was pretty fun. Then Greer, like, there's a creek that we took chunk through. He jumped in the water and was digging everything. So just little things like that seem interesting.
So would you say you're less of a planner and you're like, whatever we see on a trip, like we'll check it out?
I go with the flow.
Have you gone like to a lot of states or out of the country on any trips?
I've been to Australia right when I graduated high school, which was pretty cool, and going to the outback.
What'd you see there?
Kangaroos, toads, koalas, a kookaburra, I think that's what they're called. A bunch of different colorful birds, gators, emus, cassowaries. Pretty fun.
Is it like obviously different to the United States? Like landscape-wise? I guess there are a lot of landscapes in the United States, but...
In Sydney, it's just an oceanside place. I think it's Adelaide. It's in the town or city, and it's pretty a tropical place. And then Uluru is straight outback. Nothing's out there, like just desert, like red-orange sand.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess I don't really know much about what Australia looks like, because I wouldn't have thought that it looked like that.
They have a giant, like, mountain, and you cannot take a picture of one side of the mountain because it's very sacred to the indigenous people there, the Aborigines.
That's
so
cool.
It's, if you try to search it up, I don't think there's really any pictures of it, only like the front side of it.
That's cool. And you've seen it? Indigenous tribe, do they have a big presence?
Yeah, like in Uluru, I think that's how you say it. I'm searching it up right now. Like in that area, yeah, like Uluru Rock, yeah, like that area, definitely. And like other rural parts of Australia, yeah, they had a huge
presence.
Thank you.
Yeah. Are there opportunities that like they provide to connect with the land and stuff and wildlife?
I'm pretty sure they probably do have tours. Like, we went like with a travel agency, so we just had to do whatever we had. But like you guys did see them like selling like authentic like arts and crafts they had. And like I'm pretty sure there's tours that show like wall paintings and everything like that from way back. So I think they're pretty still connected. But I'm not gonna stop back because I don't know for sure.
Yeah. So you've lived in Arizona pretty much your whole life, right? Do you think there's like a similar...
Arizona doesn't have a lot of reservations. I did go to school with a lot of people who did live on the reservations. There's a huge presence, I believe, but not as much as there should be, I believe. But then there's I think Arizona has a lot of native land you can't go on, or there's only certain roads that you can travel through, and like a lot of like sacred land. And, yeah.
Do you think like the presence and like the amount of like preserved land in Arizona helps people respect nature more, or how do you feel like it's just like everywhere else?
Like all of our natural forests and stuff like that?
Yeah, because there's a lot of beautiful places that people go to in Arizona specifically.
I think so. Like they are very like on top of it when it comes to like people like burning and destroying the wildlife. Like you can get fined like $1,000 or thrown in jail for a few years and everything like that. And they have an app that shows like the forest and if there's a no burn day, this isn't everything like that to monitor it. And obviously if you go hunting, like they monitor all of how much tags are allowed, and like the game wardens and everything are on top of it.
And how was your experience just in relation to the landscape and like the wildlife different in Arizona versus Pennsylvania?
In the valley, we obviously don't have as much greenery, but we have a lot of interesting different animals, more reptiles, more succulent type of plants. It's just different, more flat. And then up north in Arizona, like you have a lot of big game animals, elk, deer, wild turkeys. You guys have those too. There's otters here in Arizona too. Pretty cool. And Arizona's just interesting because like you never know. Like you can go 2 hours, 3 hours up north and be in a whole different temperature and terrain. Like it could be 100 here, but 75 up north.
Yeah, that's very cool.
And then Pennsylvania, just a lot more hilly, not like mountains, but a lot more hilly. And you guys got them groundhogs, those little ground beavers. Fuck with those dudes.
We actually have a groundhog in our backyard, and he like lives in under our little river shack we have. He was just out this morning. He's a very compact guy.
I love them ground beavers. But like for bird wise, I mean you guys have robins in Pennsylvania. Here we got peach-faced lovebirds, which are pretty cool. They're like green with like yellow or like orangish face, and like they constantly chirp.
What is your favorite memory of being outside?
Can't really pinpoint. Just having fun with my friends or family, just making memories and stuff, like whatever we're doing. I remember picking up sticks at my grandma's and just moving them around, or just walking around to the animals, or like I said, we went to like Slide Rock and Fossil Creek with my friends and just enjoyed like hiking all the little ins and outs of it, and sitting in the water, getting in the water. That was nice and cool. Just making memories with whoever I'm with.
Yeah, so definitely it's a way for you to connect with others as well. Do you ever spend time outside by yourself?
Occasionally. I have the day off to myself and just relax.
How was that experience versus with others? Is it more, I guess, reflective?
More in like the fall, winter, early spring here. Like sitting outside's not as bad, and you guys just to relax, sit, enjoy the weather, sit with Chunk, or just sit outside somewhere and eat. It's pretty fun. But when it gets to the summer, it's kind of like you have to either be up really early or wait until the sun goes down to like go outside and enjoy it. Kind of like how Pennsylvania, if it's the winter, like you try to stay inside. It's just that, but in the summer.
In the summer, yeah. How have the summers become more intense throughout your life in Arizona?
So before I left, like the summers weren't bad, but when we moved back here, like 2023 and 2024 were pretty like consistent heat and like very high temperatures, but this year compared to those years have been very moderate. Last year during June it would already be like 115 like consecutively, and we've hit a couple days above 115, but when her family's gonna come, I think I saw like it's gonna be below 100 for 3 days. So those 2 summers, I don't know what the heck happened, but this summer has been very kind to us, but still hot.
Kind compared to those two, but overall still hotter than before you moved to PA.
And it's hard to remember because, like, obviously, like, growing up in it, being, like, raised in it, doing stuff outside in it, like, I do everything in the morning just because that's what football had. But,
yeah,
like, during the season, like, we would have to wait like, an hour or so until we can go out because of the heat index. But there's times where, like, monsoon season, which hasn't really been happening as much, but, like, it would rain and then get really humid, and we go out and practice like 115-degree heat with 80% humidity.
Yeah. Can you explain what monsoon seasons? Because I have no idea, never experienced anything like that.
So I'm trying to remember. It usually starts around now. The official season is designated as June 15th to September 30th. So usually monsoon is like a bunch of thunderstorms, dust storms, like haboobs. That's like a giant dust storm. If you search it up, it's hot and then boob. And it's just a giant dust storm that looks like a tsunami, like coming towards you.
Okay.
And like it usually brings a little bit of rain. But like monsoon is just thunderstorms and like occasional flash floods, and it's just the next day is obviously humid as hell, but it's just more, that's like the time where we get the rain most.
Does everything like carry on like normal? Are businesses still open and stuff during those times?
Yeah, there was like a couple times like a few years back and stuff where like it flooded so bad that the freeways were flooded, and sometimes like schools like would have to be cautious to go or late start for it.
So the terrain here isn't equipped to handle intense rain like it can.
Because it won't soak.
It's equipped. We got drains.
The roads aren't like built to handle as much rain, because like in Pennsylvania we drove through that much rain all the time, but here it just sits.
So we're more flat and we have a grid system here, and so we don't have like little ditches on the side, but we do have washes and like little canal areas that water does run into.
But if it doesn't happen throughout the year, it's just like one extreme event, it's probably not the same.
But monsoon, like when I was younger, like monsoon season, like we, like a couple of thunderstorms, like a week, like it was pretty prevalent younger. So hopefully this year it shows more. Like the first 3 days of, I think, was it June or July? Of June, there was rain, which was like the first time it's happened in 50 years or 100 years, I think.
So do people talk about the monsoon not happening? Is it in the news or anything? Were people concerned?
Not really in the news, but people like who live here, who are native here, talk about, hopefully there's a monsoon season, or this monsoon season's a lot more. It's more like
word of mouth.
Word of mouth, thank you.
Yeah.
Word of mouth.
What is your favorite type of animal, plant, or landscape?
I have a lot of animals I like. I'm a big animal guy. Love Steve Irwin, really great guy. Rest in peace, rest his soul. Loved watching his shows, but a huge, like, domesticated dog person. Pennsylvania, them brown beavers, and them groundhogs. Freaking love those little things, and little fat boys. Love geese, as you can tell.
You do. I feel like you're one of the only people I know who loves geese.
Geese and ducks are pretty cool. I like them fowls, those water fowls.
What do you like about them?
They just chill. They're just chill dudes. Like chickens, they're pretty chill. I like me some goats. Like, those pretty cool. Some little pigs. Yeah, I'm just all around like an animal lover.
Why do you think you're an animal lover? Do you think it's because like you spent time at your grandma's, or where do you think that came from?
Animals are cool, but yeah, like growing up, like going there, like seeing like cows and like goats, and there's a mama cat who always lived in the foxtails who would have a litter every single year. Don't know where the heck where she got pregnant, but she'd always come and just have 20 cats and just dip, and the cats would just live there. And my grandma would always bring out like one of those like aluminum like pans like you like put pie in, and she's like, here, kitty, kitty, kitty. Just do that and throw it out there. And then just dogs. I always grew up with dogs. I had 3 labs growing up. We're all, black lab, yellow lab, and chocolate lab. I got Charnels right here. He's pretty chill. And then I always wanted to have like chickens and get eggs, and like ducks are pretty cool. I like watching videos of people who have farms in Arizona, and goats. I want to have goats. It's pretty cool. I like going to a wildlife sanctuary, seeing those animals there. I like birds. Birds are pretty fun. The ones that talk, like parrots and everything. They, like, have fun conversations.
Nice. How do you feel about zoos?
I like the ones that, like, if the animal is injured and, like, they're, like, being rehabilitated or, like, they can't survive on their own. Like, the wildlife sanctuary here in Arizona, that's what they primarily focus on, is, like, animals who can't fend for themselves in the wild anymore, or being rehabilitated, or if they're like on in the endangered species list that they're trying to regrow their population. I think that's pretty neat.
Do you want to say any plants or anything? Or
I like cacti. Those I did a presentation on a fish hook barrel cactus when I was growing up, and we had a couple in my front yard growing up, and like they have these little like fruit that you could pick off, and like thousands of seeds will be in there, so you pick it off, there's like a giant hole and all the seeds on there. Prickly pear cactus, the fruit as well, a lot of people make jams out of it. I'm trying to remember what cactus they use to make, like you scrape off all the little pricks off of them, and like they shave around the sides and they shave it off, and like you can make food out of it.
what do you know about climate change?
Looking at the history of the whole world, obviously the world has gone through different types of climate changes, from the dinosaur, like Jurassic, up until the Ice Age. Obviously it's called the Ice Age for a reason, to now. So I think like our temperatures are always going to fluctuate, but like obviously like greenhouse gases and everything that we do now, like concrete keeping like the heat in, versus like a couple years ago where, especially here in Arizona, Phoenix wasn't as big, so it wasn't trapping in a lot of heat. It would just bounce back up, and because dirt doesn't really hold a lot of heat versus concrete and asphalt. So I think the more like we build, yes, it's going to be hotter, but I think also with how like the whole world is like always fluctuated with heat, and like we're accelerating the process of the heat because of everything that we produce, all like factories like polluting this and that, wasting like resources that we are limited to, trapping heat, greenhouse gases, emissions, and so I think it's gonna be hot. It's gonna feel hot, like up like in the Arctic, like ice caps are melting, but also I think there also is like sometimes it's not like surprising that sometimes there is greenery up there, because like they also go through different things. So I'm not like a scientist, or I've gone much into studying it. Am I a person that am a reliable resource on it? I just know that like everything, like it's always just a fluctuation, and like especially here in Arizona, concrete traps it, so it's going to feel hotter, it's going to make things worse. But I think if we keep building and expanding like all over the world, like the heat's going to sit, and it's going to make average temperatures hotter. And
I like how you said it's also happening because we're like wasting some resources and stuff. So just to pick your brain a little bit, what resources come to your mind when you're thinking of being wasted?
Obviously, it's always water, like how a lot of places are in drought. Like California is always in a drought. They always have forest fires or just random fires. And like we have a man-made lake to store water. We have reservoirs, everything like that. I believe California does use sometimes, but like we use it for ourselves. People going to forest and cutting down like huge parts of forest just to build stuff, and like obviously like everybody knows that like plants take in, like they produce oxygen for us because they take everything in and clean it up and produce out. So the less and less like it's gonna change, and like that's like way back when the earth was still young, and like the dinosaur, and I forgot like the Paleolithic age. I'm not sure what it was called, but like animals and bugs were a lot bigger because the oxygen levels were so much higher than they were now, and there was greenery everywhere. Like obviously plants have a huge like thing about like oxygen level.
When you were talking about water, is water depletion a concern there? Do people discuss it in where you live in Arizona, or is it not there yet but might become a concern?
It is talked about. It is feared because obviously like we are in a desert, like we need to have water. Probably not so much up north because like they have the Colorado River, like a bunch of natural creeks and everything like that up there. But in the valley, like we make these man-made lakes to store water. We have canals to have water that we use for everything. So and there's like some people, like there's starting not to have grass in the yard to conserve water. Like a lot of houses used to have like grass, but now they have rocks just to be able to conserve water.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Nature with You.